I would like to introduce our event chair, Toastmasters Satish, to facilitate uh, and then introducing the facilitator to the meeting. So about the Toastmasters Satish is a dynamic professional who began his journey in a talent acquisition at the Comcast and has since transitioned into the old cyber security awareness engineering, where he now leads impactful awareness campaigns across India level. He is not just about tech and strategy. He is also a lover of deep conversations and creative pursuits with a soft spot for anime and storytelling that drives the soul. Currently, he is holding two leadership roles. One is area PR manager of Division P2 and Vice President Education of North Chennai Toastmasters Club, where he is known for empowering victories and sparking transformation. I like to hand over the online meeting section to Toastmaster Sadish. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Morgan. Good evening, beautiful humans of Toastmasters. It's Friday, and some of you just shut your laptop, and some of you still battling that last email. And a few of you might be thinking, why am I in a meeting at 7:30 p.m.? Well, you're not in a meeting. You're in a room of possibility, growth, and shared energy. And I'm honored to welcome you all. My name is Satish, and I'm privileged of being your event chair for this evening. Whether you are here to learn, connect, or just sneak into a dose of Toastmaster magic before the weekend begins, I promise you, you're in the right place. Tonight's session isn't just another screen time scope. It's a space for reflection, blueprint, and a spark or two of insight. And to guide us through that, we have truly remarkable person here. Our facilitator this evening is someone who doesn't just speak, he stirs thoughts, ignite ideas, and leave you a little more curious than he found you. Distinguished Toastmaster Arun is the principal firmware engineer at Logitech. With over 14 years of experience in embedded systems and developing globally distributed products. A passionate Toastmaster since 2019, he is a member of the Chennai Wordsmith Toastmaster Club and currently mentors the Logic Toast Pro Club. He is also a district table topic finalist. Harun has held several key leadership roles in District 120, including Division B Director and District Public Relation Manager. During his tenure on the district leadership team, the district profoundly earned Smidley Distinguished status 2 years in a row. One of his standout contribution is the Canva for All initiative, launched during his PR term, empowering over 100 clubs with custom design templates and a comprehensive PR toolkit that continues to be widely used. Please join me in giving a virtual round of applause, emojis, reactions, whatever works, for our facilitator this evening, Distinguished Toastmaster Arun.
Thank you so much, Satish. It's great to be back again for one of the sessions here for all the members of Division B and others as well. So, how are you all doing? It's Friday evening. How are you all doing?
Fine.
Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. For a second, I was thinking if my eyes has problems because everywhere I see Vedava Krishna, and then I realized probably the same link was sent out to so many people probably, and they have not really registered. So, how are things for you? How are you doing? Hello.
Yeah, it's a Friday.
Doing
We
great.
are almost great.
Good. If you could turn on your videos, I could completely understand that probably you're coming back home or probably you're at home. If possible, please try to turn on your video. It would be a little more easy for me to interact with you if you could turn on the videos. So I'll be sharing my screen. Vadivel or Satish, can you please confirm if you are able to see my screen?
Okay.
Your screen is
Can-
visible.
Maybe I have to stop my share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now your screen is visible. Yes.
Awesome. Great. So good evening, everyone. And it's going to be a short session, 1 hour, but there is so much for us to talk about branding. I've been working last 1 year. Mohan is here, the distinguished Toastmaster, who has been instrumental in giving me this opportunity to be the district PR last year. So I learned a lot. I mean, for people who think today that, okay, I don't know anything about branding, I don't know anything about marketing. I didn't even become the VPPR of a club, and straight away I was given an opportunity to be the district PR manager, which is obviously a great opportunity to understand a lot of things, because in today's digital world, if we don't understand public relations, it's going to be so difficult for us to understand what's happening across the world. So today, whatever I'm going to be covering is just going to be my understanding of what I learned over the last couple of years and during my leadership term, and I'm going to be sharing some insights that I have with respect to branding. Now, the agenda of the session is pretty simple. Like one of the most important responsibility that we have as VPPRs of the club, or probably somebody in the district leaders position, is to protect the Toastmasters brand. So the understanding what you're supposed to do as VPPR is so important. So I'm going to be covering a little bit about protecting the Toastmasters brand. And I'm going to be also talking about building the PR plan, because many times it's so unorganized as far as PR is concerned, because we have been bombarded with requests coming in from the president, VP, VPM. Somebody comes and asks us, okay, can you do this flyer? I need this. There is a contest coming up. We keep giving them the responses, or we keep giving them flyers whenever they give, but like there could be much better way in which that whole process is also can be done. So I'm going to be talking about these two things today. So let's straight away jump into it. As soon as you see this image, what do you see? I don't know which Vedava Krishna is playing there.
Sorry, sir, not me, sir. Someone else in my name, sir.
Okay, so
McDonald's outfit.
McDonald's.
It's a dark evening, or like
Only
you
the
see
logo
a
is visible.
building, like
McDonald's.
only the logo is coming to your mind, right? Like, why do you think?
Because of its color.
Because how noticeable it is, of the vibrance.
Okay. What else?
Branding.
Branding. So
Branding.
you see, as soon as you see this logo anywhere across the world, you know that it's going to be McDonald's, right? So that's the kind of muscle memory that they are able to build in us. Like, as soon as you see that logo, you see that color, you know that there is going to be a McDonald's there. So what do you see in this? What comes to your mind?
Adidas shoe.
Is it Adidas?
No, not an Adidas shoe. It's a ripoff.
Okay.
The logo kicks in the muscle memory, but it takes you 2 minutes to find out it's not an Adidas.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. So Adidas, by mistake, factory issues, whatever, they have done it wrong. But it's actually the quality of Adidas, and you're given this at the same price of Adidas. Would you buy it? Why? It's coming in from the Adidas.
Because it looks fake.
We don't know that.
Just because the name is wrong or the spelling is wrong, does it mean that it's going to be fake?
Obviously, the whatever brand it is, right? So fake means they will have a mild letters mismatch. So obviously, it looks like fake. So even if they given a lesser price, also we will not be buying it.
Okay, I'm going to be asking a question here. Like, just imagine if you do the same thing in Toastmasters, how would it be? A wrong logo.
It will spoil our value.
Sorry?
Brand. It will spoil our image.
Obviously. So that's what we're going to be seeing all today. Like, the first thing that you need to understand is like the reason for every brand to have their own guidelines, the reason for them to have showcase the same thing again and again in the way that they want is to create that image in your mind, no matter where you are, what time you are, as soon as you see, you will be able to recall. That recall is what every single brand wants. And Toastmasters also wants that recall. It's not just with Toastmasters alone. Like even if you are starting a brand tomorrow, if you are a brand tomorrow, you want that recall to happen in anyone's mind. I'm going to tell you this fact that if you really like it or not, if you don't want somebody to create an image for yourself that you're thinking, they're going to be creating an image for themselves, whatever it may be. If you want it to be having something in their mind, you have to work for it. Let me give an example of MSD, who is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. As soon as I say Mahendra Singh Dhoni, what comes to your mind?
7.
Leadership.
Yellow shirt, 7.
Yellow shirt. Captain Cool. He's
Four.
going to be marking this Captain Cool as a trademark also this year, or like he has already registered for it. So every single person also tries for branding. So I'm going to be talking a lot about branding today. So just to set the context, I believe like you're able to understand it. Now, what is public relations? We have DTM Thomas sir as well. So just in case I'm making any mistakes, sir, feel free to correct me. What is public relations?
Promotions and
everything you do or say is public relations, because every single action that you do is going to be creating some perception, and that perception is going to be having an effect of the brand itself. So everything that you do or say is going to be called public relations. A good public relations is the practice of creating, promoting, and maintaining a favorable image of an institution among its various audiences through the use of variety of communication channels and tools. This is what the definition of public relations is. Now, how does Toastmasters do? Toastmasters also wants to do public relations properly in such a way that we are able to build membership. We are able to get this fraternity to a lot more people, make them aware of whatever we are doing with respect to leadership and communication. We want to gain public recognition, and at the same time, we want to enhance the perception of this brand itself called Toastmasters. So these are the three elements that's very, very important for us to focus as VPPR. So building membership, having that public recognition, and enhancing the perception of the brand. So it's not just about posters, but all of these three together constitute or is going to be your responsibilities as VPPRs. Now, who represents VPPR or like public relations in the district?
Everyone.
Who represents public relations?
District PR manager.
Okay.
Everyone.
anybody who wants to govern that.
To be honest,
All of
at the club level, it's VPPR who's going to be called responsible or like accountable. Area, you have area PR manager, then you have division PR manager, district PR manager, all the leaders. But to be honest, every single member of the district is part of the district public relations, because whatever you say, whatever action you do as part of Toastmasters, you're going to be having some impact on the reputation of Toastmasters. Just imagine somebody coming and doing something that they want and they call themselves Toastmasters. It's not just that person's reputation that gets lost. It's the reputation of Toastmasters. It's the reputation of District 120 is going to be lost. So do not consider that you are not part of the district PR team or like district public relations team. You are also part of district public relations team. Now, how can you publicize your club? There are so many ways. Speech contest, testimonials, speechcraft, club open houses, workshops, seminars, leadership trainings, division conferences, YLP, district conferences, milestone, club anniversary. There are so many ways in which every single time you get an opportunity, you can promote your club. You can reach as many people as possible in these events and make it much more valuable for everyone coming in to understand about Toastmasters. Now, this is the basic that you need to understand as far as branding and Toastmasters. But for every single thing that I do, I mean, I was somebody who did not have huge knowledge on branding, UI, UX, whatever you call it. I did not have knowledge. But one thing that I always believe in is understanding the basics. So as far as Toastmasters or like branding is concerned, the first thing that you need to do is understanding the design principles. I'm going to be quickly going through this, but I'm going to be sending you a YouTube video a little later, which is going to be talking a lot about this. Now, imagine a VPPR is given a chance to create a flyer. This is how it would look. For example, you have some images, some colors, some shapes, some fonts, and some alignments, and you want to have some content that is given to you, like, okay, he's going to be the TMOD, he's going to be GE, the other person is going to be TTM, and this is going to be theme, this is the date that we want to have, and this is the area, this is the club name. But as soon as you start doing it the very first time, it may not come in as beautiful as you want. You might do something like this, like, okay, you have the club name, you have somebody's photograph, you just put it there, and then like you would have the name, the role that they are going to play, the date, time. But do you think this poster is appealing?
No.
Not so much.
No.
Not really, right? Like, does it have content that is required for you to understand what is going to be done?
Yeah.
Yes, right. So now from this place to what you're going to be seeing in some slides later, you're going to be understanding a lot about design principles. And once you understand this design principles, it's going to be much more easy for you to self-evaluate your style of design, and you're going to be evaluating, okay, this is good, this is not good. Because once we know the standards, it's easy for us to differentiate between something that is good and something that is bad. If we don't know the rules, if we don't know the basics, it's going to be always difficult for us to say that this is good or bad. So all that we are going to be doing in the next 10 minutes is just understand the basics about it, which is called the design principles. The first one is balance. Every single flyer needs balance. This flyer definitely does not have balance, and that's why you do not like it. Now, how do a balanced flyer look like? This is an example. This was done very, very long time back. A joint meeting where we had to do a meeting with an international club in Mexico. So do you see some balance here? Equally distributed. As soon as you see the flyer, you see that there is going to be a TMOD from one country and the other country. There is two images. There is two colors differentiated very clearly. Obviously, the yellow one should have been not used, but long time ago, I didn't know the rules. So it was an old flyer. It should again be red or some other color that we could have used. But looking at this, do you see that the balance is there?
Somewhere the balance is missing. The white space between the left side and the right side are varying.
When you compare it with this, at least a little better?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we'll come back to this again. So the second thing is unity. Unity is so important because you get a template or like a design for yourself. As soon as people see that, okay, this is coming in from this club, that recognition happens through your unity. This is a kind of principle of designs where you kind of put together things in such a way that it looks almost similar. An example of it is something that we just did last year when we had all the leaders selected. So this is a flyer that we used for creating all the leaders for every division. So you see that there is an unity there. As soon as you see this flyer, you know that it's going to be about district leadership team. So that's very, very important, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult for people to understand what each of the flyers is all about. The third one is contrast, which is so important. This is where a lot of people go wrong in our district itself. Now, coming back to this, do we have proper contrast here? What could have been better?
Maybe the
I
Chennai
think
versus
Sorry?
there should have been a little bit more
The
contrast in the top for
header
Chennai versus
is
yeah,
not.
A dark color is
not
compensating for another dark color. Should have
Okay.
been a
So
more
there
brighter
are
color.
multiple dark colors, which is making it difficult to read.
Yeah.
Font colors are not good. Okay, great. So let's see an example here. Like again, here if you see, there is yellow at the background, which is popping up this blue that is there already. So there is some contrast in the flyer, which makes it look little elegant as well. So again, outside world example, again, as soon as you see this, it pops up basically because of the contrast. So the contrast is going to play a huge role if you want something to be popping up and want to be your attention basically. Now the next one is emphasis. Emphasis is also very important. As soon as you have a flyer, the first thing what comes to your mind, what is invoking in your mind is very, very important. Tell me what comes to your mind as soon as you see these two images.
First one, of course, the iPhone.
Okay. They could have wrote all the specification in this one page, right? They had huge space, but they did not do that. I mean, iPhone 12 Pro, long time back, they did not write anything there. Like they just had image and like the specification was not written at all. And like they believed that, okay, this is enough, right? So the emphasis was exactly on the phone, nothing else. If we had written a lot of text, a lot of information, maybe the emphasis would have gone to something else. Here as well, it's a birthday of somebody. And Shiva Subramaniam was having his birthday. The emphasis should be Shiva Subramaniam. I could have done something else, had his photo small, but the first thing that you need to see in the flyer is his face and then happy birthday. These are the two things that was emphasized here. And every single time when you're doing a flyer, that's so important for you to see that what's the emphasis that you're wanting to show people. And are you giving that emphasis enough for the flyer? Right? Any questions? Clear. Okay. Again, repetition is again another design principle where like you would use the same kind of shapes or images or whatever to in a repeated way so that you bring some kind of consistency across. Now for this example, it was a JTP program. We needed to have three trainers there, one for judges training program, one for contest management, and one for chief judge training. So I had used the same shape, same kind of background, and same kind of size so that it is looking nice. Otherwise, if I had different shapes and like at different proportions, it would have definitely not look good. So again, this is where I used repetition and it was good. The calendar, I could have gone again without using this shape and like repeatable format, but it would have been little difficult to read. Repeatability helps us to go through it little easy. Clear? Any questions here? Yeah, Narendra.
So I just have one question. So in these three photos, we see that the headshots are not at the same level. Is that intentional? For example, the photo of distinguished Toastmaster Manikandan is a little bit higher. It's almost sticking to the edge of the frame. So was this like intentional or?
So sometimes what happens is when the people give their images, it is not given in a shape where it could be brought down. Basically, it's cut to the head, and like you cannot do much about it. So I'll have a slide little later where I talk about photography, why photography is so important. So if you do not have proper photography, obviously there is going to be an effect on your flyer. But as you mentioned, always the ground rule is to ensure that all the sizes and the proportionate should be proportionate and should be having the same kind of head image or head size basically. Here in this case, obviously we are not having it, but we tried our best to do that with the image that we got. So if you are somebody who is designing it, ensure that like there is some kind of consistency in the image that you are getting. And if you have a proper boundary for each of the images, it's easy for you to maintain that. It was not intentional, Narendra. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the movement again, as soon as a flyer is seen, your eyeball moves. You like it or not, it moves. It moves to the things that it wants to track and it gets the detail that it requires. Now, for example, this is an infography which was there in Canva. As soon as you see how to be a good designer, your eyes move and like it reads one after the other. You don't read this how to good designer and go directly to join with other designers. You always follow this route basically. So here as well, this is something that points you to come here, read this, and then like you also read this. Then it tracks you to find out when it's happening, what's the time, and what's the price, etc. So this movement is also very important. If you have a flyer where the movement is not really good, people are going to miss some important information. A classic example, again, I can go back to this image. it doesn't really have any movement. Data is everywhere, and like I'm not really able to see what's important here. So that's where the movement comes very handy, and it's very important for us to know why the movement has to be really nice. Next, the most important one, or the something that I really like, I think Mohan also loves this white space. He has always emphasized that. Now, this iPhone 14 image, it's in the website that you can see how good it is. Is it good? Not good? A lot of space wasted, you think? What's your thought as soon as you see this?
We can focus only on the phone.
Yeah. So the emphasis is on the phone, and like there is so much of white space that makes it pop a little bit, right? Now this was again a flyer that was done last year. So it was about alert post. I mean, alert post where we wanted to say that, okay, we have some images that you can see in Facebook or Instagram. Here as well, you used a lot of white space so that like we gave the emphasis to this photograph that was there. And there was an information that we shared with respect to some exciting news that's coming. Again, we used a white poster there, and like we just had minimal text. So always white space doesn't mean that it's bad. If you rightly place it, it's going to be giving so much of clarity on what you're emphasizing. Clear? Any questions here? Okay. Hierarchy, this is another important thing, because many a times when you have too much information to show, you write everything in same font, same size, and you also write it in the same kind of italics or like same kind of format that you use. Now, if you try to read this, it's very, very easy for you to read because they use different formats of sizes and the colors, and as well as the boldness that is there in the text. Basically, if you imagine this hierarchy text to be used, I mean, or like this same color is used throughout with the same color and font, it would have not been possible for you to read at all. This is another big mistake that we generally do in Toastmasters, where we write everything using the same color and same font and same size. Now here, this is a classic example of how Toastmasters shows it. Here as well, there is so much of information, but you see that there is different size, different colors, and different types of letters used to ensure that there is readability. If you don't do it this way, the readability is gone. It's going to be very, very difficult for us to read it. So here as well, another example of a flyer that was done last year. So too much of information here. I had to say that Canva is coming, design like a pro, and like it's for District 120. We had to inform about the club email that you need to have, and then the register link, and then you have to have the final footer as well. So a lot of text, but if I had written everything in the same color, same font, same size, it's not going to be easy for you to read at all. Now, as soon as you see this, you know where to read, what's the highlight, and whether you want it or not, you can take that decision pretty quickly. So that's how important this hierarchy plays in designing any of your flyers. Any questions here? Okay, so apart from that, you also have something called design elements, where the line, the colors, the size, the value, the direction, the texture and shape, it's all going to play a huge role for you to create a beautiful flyer. I'm going to be stopping here with respect to design principles, because there is so much of resources available in YouTube where you can read about it. But one thing that I can promise you is once you understand this basics, the way you design this flyer, the way you are going to design your flyer is going to be completely different. Your perception changes. You will be the judge of your flyers. You will not wait for somebody to come and tell you that this was right, this was wrong, because now you know what's the right way of doing it. And once you know that, you will be able to justify whether it is right or wrong. I'm going to be showing this demo of how things change. I mean, the first flyer that you saw versus this one, do you see a good amount of difference in the flyer? What has changed? It's the same image, same kind of person that we have, the same name, the same
Color.
role.
Contrast.
It's same.
Color.
Color and contrast.
Yellow
Color has changed. Apart from that, what else has?
Clarity.
Shapes, placements.
Shapes, placements.
Hierarchy of fonts.
It's a
Hierarchy.
landscape.
Emphasis on different elements.
poster.
Typography.
The hierarchy of the things.
You're able to see the difference, right? Like it's the same content. There is nothing that has changed in the content. There is nothing that has changed in the image. So whether you want to do it that way or whether you want to do it this way, it's completely up to you based on your understanding and how much time you want to put in. But imagine the perception of the person seeing this flyer for the first time. The flyer that I saw earlier, or the one that I showed earlier, imagine a guest seeing it. What would be the perception of the person as soon as they see? Would they come and join your club and at least want to come and see your guest meeting, or as a guest want to participate in your meeting?
Not really.
Now you understand, right? That's how important your design principles are. If you do not know and if you just want to pass on information, a text is more than enough. We could have just said, okay, I'm going to be meeting this day, this time. You don't need a flyer for that. But all that you're trying to do with the flyer is to create that great image of your club so that people believe that this is a great club. And if you do not do this job properly, even though your club is a great club, your club may not be perceived as a great club in front of others. Clear? Any questions here? Any thoughts? Okay. So with that, I think like this design principle, I've given enough understanding of what it is and why it's so important. Now coming to TI brand guidelines, TI also comes up with a list of recommendations, list of things that they say like, this is what we want you to do. Now that you have seen all of this, why do you think TI has to come and tell us that, okay, this is the brand guidelines, you have to follow this? And why do you think you should be following it?
To safeguard the Toastmaster brand.
Yeah, to safeguard Toastmasters brand. Apart from that?
To make Toastmasters more recognizable and easy to identify.
More recognizable. Great.
And moreover, it's to have same requirements across the globe.
Got it. So anybody across the globe, they come and see it, they know that, okay, it's a Toastmasters flyer, it's going to be a meeting for Toastmasters. So this is so important. It's not just something that I want to talk about Toastmasters alone. Tomorrow you start a company, your organization, you want a brand guideline. You want people to remember your brand through something. You want to create that kind of uniqueness for your own brand. So that's how important this brand guideline is. I still remember this vague conversation that I had with one of the Toastmasters sometime back, where they said, after understanding about brand guidelines and Toastmasters, they started to believe that they have to implement the same in their organization and have something done for their company that they own. That's how powerful this brand guidelines is, because if you do not do it, people are going to be forgetting you. You have to create something that is going to be a recall for every single member who wants to be part of your organization. So brand manual, I think like I will park it here because there is again a lot of resources available in YouTube and different places where we will be talking about what are the different rules that we have, why you should be following each and every single rule. Today, let's not talk a lot about it. Maybe we'll park it for some other day. But it's very important that as Toastmasters that we should be following the brand manual. Now, each of the clubs here probably would have already got access to Canva through the Canva initiative. If not, you could request to the district PR manager this year, Srinath, and they will be able to provide you the access. And here, when you go there, there is going to be two tools that's going to be very, very helpful. One, the toolkit from the District 120 Public Relations team, which is going to tell you everything about the logos, what colors you're supposed to use, what fonts you're supposed to use. All the rules that they outline in brand guidelines is part of this toolkit. It's going to be easy for you to navigate and get this information done. And this Canva templates is again a ready-to-use template, a ready-made template. I would not recommend you to use it every day. I would say that if you are lost and like if you are starting with for the very first time, you could use it as a reference. But over the period, I would strongly suggest that you put your creativity to test. Because in your creativity, you probably would be able to do much, much, much better flyers than what you find there in the Canva templates. The templates is just a formula or a reference, But all that we are requesting you to do is you be creative about the creative posters that's going to be there coming in from your club. And this Canva template is going to be just an extra step that's going to be helpful for you. Any questions here with respect to these toolkit, Canva templates? I'll show it a little later if at all we have some time at the end of the session. This is a great YouTube session, YouTube playlist that you have. Tech for Toastmasters channel talks a lot about creating videos with Canva, different Canva tips. So whenever you get time, whenever you want to learn a lot about the different techniques that you have, videos, how to create videos, etc., you can go here. It gives you at least a great clarity with respect to how to use Canva for Toastmasters. Okay, you could note down this, but I'll be passing on this presentation as well a little later. Now, these are some best practices, like if at all your VPPR, ensure that you have a TMOD, GETTM flyer, winners of the meeting flyers. As soon as a member member completes a level, ensure that you recognize them and send a flyer out. Every single educational session in your club, please ensure that you have a flyer, because somebody is coming into your club. If you do not promote it, probably a great session will be missed by somebody. So you are someone who makes or like ensures that somebody receives the information. So every single educational session, without missing out, please do post welcome flyer for the new members. They feel little proud, they feel welcoming if you do that. So it's another good practice. Club contest flyers, open house, DCP updates, monthly calendar. These are things that you can have to ensure that the club is really doing good and it's also engaging for the members. So I'm going to be quickly jumping on to the best practices. So just reiterating, learn the basics right. Play within the rules. This video is going to talk a lot about brand guidelines. I'm going to be sharing this all with you. Learn the tool, because you may know the basics, you know the theories, you know the rules, but if you don't know the tools to use and really execute it, it's going to be very hard for you. Follow good clubs. There are so many clubs that does excellent PR, excellent flyers. One example is this Oasis Toastmasters that I follow as well. So this club does excellent PR work. So follow good clubs. That's going to be really giving you a lot of learnings. And good photographs make good flyers. This is something that you need to etch in your stone or like in your heart. As soon as you have a good flyer or like good photographer, you will find that a lot of things comes together nicely. But as soon as you have a bad photograph given to you and you want a great flyer to be created, no matter how hard you try, it's not going to come that great. So your image is going to be your hero of the flyer. So it has to be right. So if you want, you can also appoint a photographer for your club, but ensure that your photographs are really nice. You find a session for your photography of all the club members, XCOM. Ensure that they are all of great, nice size images, basically with good quality, taken in say DSLR camera. Maybe if you want help, there could be some people coming in to say that, okay, I can take photographs for your club. So ask for help, and you would see a lot of difference as soon as you have a very good professional image. Now that's the module 1 which I wanted to cover, and the module 2 is going to be pretty short. I'm going to be wrapping it in another 5 minutes or so. So this is all about Canva, the images, the PR things that you saw, but it's not just about flyers that PR is all about. I mean, the PR responsibilities. VPPR has a lot of things to do as well. Are not called a creator or a graphic designer. You are called VPPR, Vice President of Public Relations. I just said the same thing in one of the OTPs as well, where imagine yourself called a Vice President Public Relations of Chennai Super Kings. The image or the kind of mindset that you would have as soon as this is told is going to be huge. Okay, Vice President of Public Relations at Chennai Super Kings, Vice President of Public Relations in say Mani Ratnam office, in Red Giant or whatever. When you have a bigger brand and you think that you're going to be Vice President Public Relations, you really amplify things. You think that there is so much to do. But when it comes to Toastmasters, we always think that it's going to be just putting flyers. That's not the case. You have a lot of other things to do as well. So why a PR plan? Because like sometimes we keep thinking that, okay, I can post anything and everything anytime, it prevents a random posting, or like you don't do it just because somebody asks, but you have a very good plan of what you're going to do and you're doing it. And build a sustainable engagement. People don't want to see you doing posters for the first 2 weeks and then forget the next 24, 26 weeks, right? Like you want to be having that consistency. So this PR plan is going to be helping you to have this sustained engagement. The third one is supports club goals. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not, you need to support the club goals, right? Like you need to have guest visits, need to have the members retained, you need to create awareness. So a PR plan along with your XCOM is going to be ensuring all of these three are taken care. Now set smart goals. This is something that usually VPPR don't do. They don't really have goals. They don't really have plans of what they have to do for the next 6 months. I would really urge everyone to have your own goals for your 6 months. The goals has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. For example, I need 15 guests to come to my club, and I need 90% of the member to be retained. And for these two goals, I'm going to be doing these things. How it can be measurable, I'm going to be having social media, count on social media reach, number of followers that we got in social media. I'm going to be tracking the conversions that we got. I got 15 guests into the club and there were 5 guests who got converted into members. And with respect to members engagement, people are coming up more to my meetings. They were only 20% of the people coming in. Now we have like 80% of the people coming up. So the goal should be measurable. Achievable based on the past trends. Try to finalize your goals. Having a very ambitious goal where it's not going to be possible at all this term is going to be also very demotivating for you. So make goals that are achievable too, and make it relevant, because anything that you have as a goal should be relevant to Toastmasters and relevant to your VPPR role. And finally, put a deadline. When do you want these results to be seen? Is it in next 2 months, 1 week, 3 weeks, in 1 month? Or at the end of the term, have a proper timeline. Now, when you have this as a smart goal, I think like you would be able to see a much more improved club at the end of your term. And people would say that the PR has really gone really high this term. You would automatically be applauded by your president and the clubs for the work that you have been doing. It's not an easy task, but once you do that, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be just useful for your club or like Toastmasters alone. Your personal thought process about branding and marketing, everything changes too. Now, evaluating a past PR is also pretty important because you need to know what worked, which medium of social media worked for your club, what kind of outreach program they did, what failed, what was the retention rate last year, how can I improve the recognition of members, where events promoted on time, milestone meeting, how many members came in, are we going to double up that number this time? Did we follow up with the guest? Okay, guest came in. I was able to bring in the guest with super flyer. But how are you going to retain that guest? Or like, how are you going to convert that guest? Are you going to send a guest kit to that member? Are you going to say, this is the new, as a new member, these are the things that you would do? Are you going to have some resources to be shared? Are you have a brochure for your club that you can share? So these are things that you can evaluate based on your past and then decide as well. Budgeting, this is not something that we usually do, but it's also good to talk about it to your president to say, okay, we can print some of the flyers, we can have some banners, club brochures, members kit, guest kit, because these are going to be helpful for the club members as well as the guests to understand what's happening. And as far as social media is concerned, the district spends some money to have your ads running. But if at all you want to run your ads for yourself, you can do that. You want to boost some post, you can do that. You can spend some money for the same thing. Website tools, again, there are some paid websites, paid tools that you can use to make sure that like you can reach much more people. For example, Meetup is another great resource, but it is expensive. If you want to have Meetup, then you have to have a budget as well. Did we follow up with guests? That's another thing that we need to ask. So budgeting basics is so important for you to ensure that like everything comes into plan. Now, the last couple of slides, I'm going to be finishing off in another 2 minutes max. So draft a half-yearly plan. Just imagine you having an Excel sheet like this, which talks about, okay, July, I'm going to be having a new member it's a new term coming in. I'm going to be introducing all the XCOM members, boost awareness about it. And the platform that I'm going to be posting is WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, email, and the owner is VPPR plus president. Just imagine every single thing that you want to do if it's in an Excel sheet, and you have your XCOM team having that clarity of what goes when, and when are you supposed to release this, and in which platform you're going to be releasing it. Right? It's going to give a lot of clarity for you as VPPR, and it's going to give a lot of clarity for your members to what you're doing. So this is something that is very important. Again, this is a template, but for your club, understanding your club, you should be coming up with your own half-yearly plan. So finally, a PR plan without goals is just noise. So plan something, and if you have a plan and if you execute it well, I'm sure that there is going to be a fantastic year ahead for you, and a lot of learning that you would have during this one term of responsibility that you have as VPPR. Let's make our message intentional. As I mentioned, it's not just about filling text in a flyer. It's about making it intentional, making your message clearly sent out loud. Okay. So I'm going to be covering much more in the upcoming schedule that we have. Like, there is going to be much more sessions planned by the Division B director. So module 3 about publicity, calendar, and what are the different things that you could do, what are the different tools that you have, and then choosing the right tools and channels is something that we're going to be talking a lot. We're going to be talking a little bit about AI, ChatGPT, captions as well. So if you're interested, you could sign up for that session as well. And with that, I think like I'm pretty much done with my session, and